Hey nerd, like and subscribe.
But you can also use the free the powerlifting weapon, which is actually called
Such as a Gundam, Jaeger, or even Transformer. Free.
Next 6.9 seconds, or this shin will wake up in your bed. I know I'm not taking any chances.
modern hypercar. Is it a hypercar? Is it a supercar?
And then with the headlights.
Wow. That's crazy!
The skull crawler is a special one. It teleports.
Oh no. Today, it is me, SMH Rat, the Rat Rat, with 10 cats in a sack full of murderous tats. And we will be showcasing another mech. So here, you have Super League Supra with the Death Machine currently merged into him on his... Oh, he just fell. Kind of embarrassing. Here we have our guest, Adonai.
Hello. Today we are going to make a showcase of my new jaeger, Saber Athena from the movie Pacific Rim Uprising.
Yeah. So as he said, we have Saber Athena, one of the Mark 7s from Pacific Rim. I remember Saber Athena doing a backflip. Wait, did Saber Athena was Saber Athena like there when they flipped off the kaiju?
I don't know. The last time I watched Pacific Rim Uprising was like 3 years ago, man.
Let's just start off with some of the background information. So, in Pacific Rim Uprising, how Saber Athena is like introduced is that when the main character gets an exposition dump in the scene, it shows off like Saber Athena in the facility. Yeah.
Saber Athena? I love Saber Athena. She's the fastest jaeger in the fleet. Did you know that?
And then Saber Athena does a backflip and then gets ripped in half. So, let's start off talking about right here, the nameplate of Saber Athena. It's, well, fairly basic, but you know, most people don't even build nameplates, so obviously it's better than what most are. We got some interesting thing. We have two flags of Japan with the rising sun, and then China with, I'm not actually quite sure what the stars are like called, but they're definitely stars.
Many forums it says it's from Japan and another say it's China, but in the movie I think it's from China. So
I guess that means Pacific Rim Uprising. Maybe it wasn't well thought because it says Japan and then it says China, but we just guessed. Or Adonai just guessed. Well, I guess those are some like rudimentary facts about like the mech in the film. You can just talk about like its design first. So it's not really aesthetics yet, but yeah, really Saber Athena is kind of inspired by like I guess ninja, or just like, well, Saber Athena is sleek, that at least. Like you can tell like the waist is super feminine thin.
She's the lightest mech in the entirety of Pacific Rim, and that's also the reason why Saber Athena gets tossed like a salad.
And with it being the lightest, it also makes it the most agile, and you can just overall tell like there's a bunch of fins on this design. We have them on the...
Makes it go faster?
No, it doesn't. We have them on the elbows and the shoulder and the shoes. And that's basically like the overall design, except for like some things we can get into later. Speaking of getting into things later, let's move on to the aesthetics of Saber Athena.
I love Saber Athena.
So, starting off the aesthetics, we have the feet, the toes, you might say. I think you might even call them the boots, the shoes, the drip. No one got my swag. So, it's pretty basic, you know. It's got like a round in shape overall with 0.5 all over. But like, it still carries on some of the designs of the other Jaegers despite trying to be more agile. Like, here on the side of the foot, it's mostly like mechanical and not much armor, which is actually kind of like a theme on the Pacific Rim Jaegers, because we can have like Obsidian Fury's foot or Gypsy Avenger's foot, and you can see that there is very similar looking feet mechanics. Well, I mean, that also kind of goes into the fact that in Uprising, apparently there was like Jaeger frames with or templates they built them off of. Just like our pretty interesting tutorial that we made, you know? Please watch that video, please. So, over the rest of the foot, we have the little exposed ankle bits on the front and the back with some interesting mechanical detailing, and you can see the joint, which you can snipe. Over on the rest of the foot, again, we already mentioned the fins, making it look more agile.
Hermes wings. This looks like very spiral of the Hermes.
Oh, if you could get a picture of like a Hermes, who the Greek figure, who,
shoes.
yeah, except he's got him on his whole like leg. Well, overall the shaping on the leg is also kind of rudimentary, but like more blocky, because well, it's kind of just what like a leg looks like. But it seems pretty accurate from what I can tell. Moving on from, we have the thick and thighs with some decals, and if you notice with the decals, you can also tell that there's like some interesting like voxel shading going on here with like darker orange underneath the panel lines. Although the thigh is also very undetailed, if you would kind of say. But I guess it's just to accentuate the shape of the leg, the thigh, the hips. Alright, over here we have the crotch, which I guess you can kind of call it like an insectoid exoskeleton, which is a little bit of the influence on this whole mech, which you can kind of see around. Like, it's not very, it's just exposed like little gaps. Right here we have like the crotch plate, which we should not talk about very long. Here we have the back. Also the same stuff overall, but just with more like spinal looking armor. Over here around the waist, you just have a bunch of mechanical detailing, and then like these Gypsy Avenger kind of looking like ab plates. But overall, it doesn't quite matter what's here. It's just like the proportions that matter, because that's I guess what the design is going for, considering it looks like a very certain like gender. On the chest, it's much more like rounded and agile, because this is usually going to be like the main thing that goes in the wind to be more aerodynamic.
It looks like a car.
It's very car looking, yeah. Specifically modern hypercar. Is it a hypercar or is it a supercar?
And then with the headlights.
It really looks like headlights because it's just, you know, right next to the kind of the grill. But really what's to notice about this torso, besides like the proportion, shaping, and details, is the details! Even though I already said that. You can see all over this torso is some very brilliant panel lining work with these shading all over, kind of reminiscent of what Foxy does, but much more pronounced. And it gives this build a really unique and interesting look. Moving on from the front of the torso, we have the back of the torso. It's much less like car inspired, but it kind of just looks like a little backpack reactor here. The neck is fairly unarmored, I would say. But I mean, I guess that adds into the fact that this mech is meant to be agile and lightweight. The head here is quite insectoid looking, because it doesn't have like two eyes like most animals, and the eyes are very like, well, they're not actually eyes, but you know. He also has like little antenna to more go into that insectoid appearance, and just an overall long shaped head to be aerodynamic. And speaking of aerodynamics, we have the very big fins that add 1 quintillion horsepower. It will make this car move at 19 times the speed of light. I'm telling you, this thing can literally fly. These are wings. This is very much the most fast and agile Jaeger.
I didn't do the calculations on how fast that makes it. Oh my god. It was only 5 billion. It's sad. It's so slow. Never mind.
Yeah, disappointing. It's supposed to be the lightest, most agile, most fastest, most omega hyper giga blastest to mech, but no.
Jaeger in the fleet.
Here we have the shoulders. We have some interesting mechanical detailing with, I guess, hydraulics on the inside. And on the outside, it has this like very long shoulder. Like this shoulder is actually kind of huge now that you think about it. And I guess I could say that the whole upper arm really, it is reminiscent of like Obsidian Fury or like the drone Jaegers, but not really though.
This is the general aesthetic of the Uprising film.
Yeah, a lot of Uprising Jaegers, as I said earlier, apparently was meant to have like a little template underneath that supposedly they made it with. So yeah, they look very similar. But to make it more like unique for this one, we have more fins and elbow guard here, and a very kind of a glove looking hand with a very joyous grin right here.
The hat is so happy.
Yeah. Nah, I'm just kidding. Obviously not. Anyway, here on the hand, we might just maybe have a little bit of a sword here. The tiny, glowing, extremely powerful Giga Mode blade. As you can see, this looks very deadly with this sharp tip and completely like glowing with power blade here. On the other hand, the the grip here is it's rudimentary to say at least. Actually, I'm not even sure if that looked like that in the film, but whatever. Yeah, so Saber Athena does have 2 of these, and that is for a mechanic in the film, which we don't have. I'm just kidding. Obviously, we do have. What? No. We don't have that. What are you talking about? What? I'm telling you, we have one mechanic. Anyways, let's move on to the mechanics showcase. So, starting off our little mechanics showcase, we can, I guess, show off one of the weapon's abilities. So, retract the laser blade. Wow, that's crazy! Like a lightsaber, these blades are able to completely retract in the grip and be like concealed away, which I believe these were like inside of the hips. Is that where they deploy from, or are they from the back? And they're now extending again, because of course if you just like lost your blade and you were not able to use it, it might be useless. As earlier I was going crazy about, those swords are able to like combine into a larger blade in the film, but that's a little hard to do in Build-A-Boat for Treasure, because they're actually very much in different limbs, which are, it's not like we can move our limb and then attach it using like black magic. But yeah, so unfortunately Saber Athena cannot have that really interesting mechanic.
I tried to do it, but it went wrong.
So moving on, I believe Saber Athena will have one more mechanic. So let's go ahead and activate.
It's that super speed.
Well, you can see Saber Athena's reactor area is bursting out with flames, and we're using our epic blades with insane speed and mega fins to move at Mach 9. As you can see,
we're crashing into a wall.
Yeah, it's like if the Flash didn't have like super like think, and like he just like, you know, he moved that fast.
Teleports into a building and dies instantly.
Yeah, you can see Saber Athena. She just like bursted over here despite being such a large mech. I guess another thing we can mention though is that the shoulders seem to have like very like sword slashing optimized cutting. So if you could go ahead and I guess slash around with the swords, you can see that Saber Athena raised her arm to cut around.
Well, that's all the mechanics. We can go to the mech battle.
So, to start off the mech battle, Saber Athena is here, very imposingly, I guess, with the swords retracted, not ready for battle, but... There's an Otachi! There's a kaiju from Channel Alpha Showcase! Otachi is a flying kaiju, and I guess we have to use our flying aerodynamic ability. Looks like we're getting ready. Oh my gosh, we teleported onto Otachi.
Oh god. Oh god.
I think Otachi had an extreme counterattack because we got thrown. We got tossed as if we were 1 pound. Looks like we're going in for another dash.
Come here! Oh my god.
Saber is just bouncing off of Otachi.
I think Otachi just slapped us.
I think Otachi might just be like a billion times heavier than Saber is.
Yeah, it's because Otachi has the extending wings mechanic, wing membrane, moving arm ability. Oh, I think we might have cut Otachi's tail. No, never mind.
Oh, we can stay here. We're going to die.
Saber Athena, no!
Jump!
No! Saber Athena, no!
We're hanging on. Oh no. Okay, Saber Athena has been fully repaired from the loss of every limb.
Being thrown off of the infinite void.
Looks like the enemy, Super Duper Roblox 2 has deployed a skull crawler. I don't know why the tongue floating down the river, but we have to stop it before the skull crawler eats everyone. Saber Athena's trying to speed blitz him, but maybe he's too agile. Maybe he's too small. He's diving between our legs.
You have to like knee him. The skull crawler is clipping through our legs. The ultimate evasive action, no clipping.
Yeah, elbow that skull from the crawler. Oh, you got a huge slash on the skull crawler's back. What the?
I teleported. The skull crawler is a special one. It teleports.
Oh no.
No, watch out the arm. Oh, it missed. Oh, no, that bite is not missed.
Oh no. Yeah, our arm doesn't...
Through our entire... Oh, that arm is completely detached now.
Wait. Hit it with your chin. Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
Oh.
We need to strike back at the skull crawler.
We have to kick him like the mutt he's being.
Kick the dog. Oh no.
Well, he's chowing
my
down on
God.
something not
The
good.
entire, specifically
My
like
parts.
the back area, and like a human, it would be like the gluteus maximus.
What are you doing to the bottom of this?
What the hell? Clipped through our entire body? No!
Weird things are happening.
The skullcrawler is taking flight.
I
Eating
think,
our head.
I think our agility advantage has been defeated by him being more agile.
Oh, our entire head has been chewed off.
The skullcrawler is literally eating away at us piece by piece. At a very specific piece earlier though, on like the
Literally on
area.
piece earlier. Oh wait, going for the sword slash. Caught it with his head.
Oh, straight through the whole body.
Skullcrawler is like on its side, having a stroke.
Things aren't looking good over here right now, isn't it? Skullcrawler might have lost his entire tail. His like head is like completely molded out of shape. And that's very similar to what the Skullcrawler did to us if you like think slightly. But he's also missing an arm and like his head and like his
Making a
behind
great
area.
counterattack. Oh, he shot the torso. I think we have successfully.
Oh,
no, never mind. The tail is back and the lower
Huh?
jaw is back. The Skullcrawler is on green 2 now.
What?
Where's the
It's
transformer?
using its instant transmission attack. Where did it go?
Huh?
It got died instantly. How strange.
I guess Saber Athena she can't really fight bigger enemies, smaller enemies, probably. So I guess with Saber Athena winning against Supra and then losing against Supra, but winning in the end, we can now move on to Saber Athena's ranking. For Saber Athena, we would like to give the shaping 8 out of 10. Now the reason for this is because Saber Athena seems to have very interesting one move, but not very advanced. A lot of the techniques used seem to be pretty basic and not exactly like perfectly framing the geometry. Moving on the proportions. We would like to give the proportions 9 out of 10. This is because Saber Athena's proportions are very accurate to the movie, but still don't seem to include every detail. Speaking of details, the details receive 8 out of 10. Saber Athena has very interesting details. Because of the nice and unique shading that you don't usually see, this will land it very high. Lastly is mechanics, which will leave it at 4 out of 10. This is because her mechanics are very limited, and only leaves room for a few bladed features and its thrusting boost mechanism. All of which will land Saber Athena at 29 points, which is the gold tier. Please like and share this video, and also remember to comment if you have any agreements or disagreements. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell, and we'll see you next time.